today we'll be covering few basic points on obstetric examination that can come in the upcoming INICET exam. Okay, so let's go to the first question. What does the given picture depict? Your options are anterior asynclitism, posterior asynclitism, synclitism, and Neagley's asynclitism. So let's get oriented to the picture first. So this is a picture of the maternal pelvis and you're seeing from the front as if you're conducting the delivery. So this will be the symphysis pubis. So this is mother's anterior part and this will be the sacral bone. So this will be the posterior part, which means this will be the right and this will be the left. So this is the baby's head. This is baby's head and this will be the sagittal suture, and this Y-shaped suture denotes the occiput, the area of the occiput. So if you notice, the sagittal suture is more towards the anterior part of the mother's pelvic bone when compared to the posterior. It is tilted slightly anteriorly, right? So this is called asynclitism. There is a difference between the anterior and posterior part of the baby's head. It is not correctly in the midline, but the baby has tilted his head slightly so that it can fit into the pelvic cavity. Quickly, let's see what asynclitism means. All right. So imagine you're seeing the patient from the side. This will be the sacral bone. And this is the pubic symphysis. So this will be the anterior and posterior part of the mother. And if this is the baby's head, usually in a normal baby, this is the occiput and this is the sagittal suture. The distance between the sagittal suture and the sacrum and sagittal suture and the pubic symphysis will be of equal length, and this will be called synclitism. So if you see from the foot end of the patient, pubic symphysis, hence this is anterior, sacrum, so this is posterior. This is the sagittal suture of the baby, and if you see, these two distances are equal. So this is synclitism. All right. The next scenario will be, again, this is the sacrum, and this is the pubic symphysis. In this case, baby's head is tilted slightly such that the sagittal suture is closer to the sacrum. Okay, so this distance is less, whereas this more. The anterior distance is more compared to the posterior distance. In which case, the anterior, if you can see, the sagittal suture is more towards the sacrum when compared to the pubic bone, and this is called anterior asynclitism. There is a disproportion. Okay, and the next scenario is where the sagittal suture is more towards the pubic symphysis. So this distance will be less and this will be more towards the posterior. So the posterior length will be more than the anterior. And here, if you can see, this is the sagittal suture. And the distance from the sagittal suture to the sacrum is more compared to the distance from the pubic symphysis to the sagittal suture. This is called posterior asynclitism. Now, this might be very confusing as to which is anterior and which is posterior. Easy way to remember is look at the baby's parietal bone and see which parietal bone is seen more area. Right? So in this case, this will be the baby's anterior parietal bone and this will be the posterior parietal bone. So obviously the more of anterior parietal bone is visualized compared to the posterior parietal bone. So this is anterior asynclitism. And here more of posterior parietal bone is visualized compared to the anterior parietal bone. So this will be posterior asynclitism. Anterior asynclitism, the other name is Neagley's asynclitism. An easy way to remember is anterior A, Neagley's. After N, the first word is A. Posterior asynclitism is otherwise called Litzmann's asynclitism. All right. So remember Neagley's for anterior, and so the other name will be for posterior. So the answer to the question will be posterior asyncretism. All right. Now let's look at some questions on position of the baby. So by position, what we mean is you need to relate how the baby's presenting part is placed in the mother's pelvis. So approach to this will be following 3 steps. First, know what is the presentation of the baby. Okay. And second will be for that presentation, what is the denominator? Denominator is the fixed bony prominence on the baby's presenting part. For example, for cephalic presentation, it is the occiput. For breech, it will be sacrum. And for face, it will be mentum. All right. And third is, see how this denominator is placed in relation to the mother's body or mother's pelvis. Now, this question can be asked in 2 ways. First is a picture like this, where the entire body of the mother's picture can be given, or the other type can be, you're seeing from the foot end of the patient as if you're conducting the delivery for the patient. So there are 2 pictures, 2 ways it can be asked, and you can be asked to assess the position of the baby. So here, if you orient yourself, this will be mother's right side, this will be mother's left side, and this is cephalic. So first, let us look at the approach. First, presentation will be cephalic. So the denominator in this case will be occiput, and see where the occiput is located compared to the mother's body. The occiput is located transversely towards mother's left side. So here the position will be left occiputo transverse. The same image if you see from the foot end. So this is how you orient if these will be the mother's legs. Okay. So imagine you're conducting delivery or doing a pervaginal examination. So this will be mother's right side. This will be mother's left side. This is the symphysis pubis. So this is anterior. Sacrum. So this is posterior. So again, cephalic presentation, occiput. So if you look at the picture, you can see 2 fontanelles. The diamond-shaped fontanelle is the anterior fontanelle, and posteriorly you can see a Y-shaped suture, the sagittal suture dividing into 2. Now this is what you need to identify for occiput. The Y-shaped area is the occiput, all right? So if you notice here, the occiput is directly to the left transverse side. So again, this is LOT, same. This is 2 different ways in which the question can be asked. So can you find out what is the position in this case? Again, it's the same position in both the pictures. This is the entire mother's abdomen view. This will be from the pelvic examination view. So if you can notice here, the presentation is from the mentum to the anterior fontanelle. So this is face presentation. And for face presentation, the denominator, as we saw earlier, will be mentum. Okay. This is mother's left side, right side, and left side. Now let's see where the mentum is. Mentum is towards the right side. But if you notice, it is not directly transverse. It is pointing a little bit towards the symphysis pubis, towards the anterior side. So the position will be right mento anterior. All right. If the same baby, if you're examining as per vaginal examination, first let's orient ourselves. This will be the anterior part of mother's pelvis, posterior, right side, left side. So first mark these. Okay. Now this is face presentation, and what you're looking at is the mentum. Mentum is nothing but the chin. So this is where the mentum is. Mentum is on the right side, more towards the anterior part. So the position is right mento anterior. So I hope clear as to how to come to a conclusion as to what is the position of the baby in relation to the mother's pelvis. All right. So the next question, which of the following is the second pelvic grip? Your options are A, B, C, and D. So this is the basics of obstetric examination, and we call this Leopold's maneuvers. Something that we do day in and day out in obstetric OPD, isn't it? So the first Leopold's maneuver is otherwise called as the fundal grip. Fundal grip, as the name suggests, you are keeping your hands on the fundus of the uterus to see what is in the upper pole of the uterus, which part of the baby is in the upper part of the uterus. So that is called as first Leopold's maneuver or fundal grip. The second maneuver in B is called as second Leopold's maneuver, otherwise called as the umbilical grip or lateral grip. These are the different names. And this is done majorly to see where the spine is located. Is it on the right side or left side? So in this case, you can see that the spine is on the left side and the fetal limb butts are on the right side. So to determine where the spine is located. The third C picture is called as the third Leopold's maneuver, otherwise called as Paulick's grip, otherwise called as second pelvic grip. Okay, so don't get confused because we still haven't seen what the first pelvic grip is, but you know, this is called second pelvic grip. So these names for this. Here you examine what is in the lower pole of the uterus, otherwise what is the presenting part of the fetus in the lower pole. All right. Now D, picture D is called as the fourth Leopold's maneuver, otherwise called as the first pelvic grip. So don't get confused with the first and second pelvic grip. The fourth maneuver, the last maneuver, is actually called as the first pelvic grip, and the third maneuver is called as the second pelvic grip or the Paulick's grip. And this is done first to confirm the third maneuver's finding, to see if it is what the presenting part is, to confirm the presenting part. Second, to determine the attitude of the baby's head or the presenting part. By attitude, I mean if the baby's head flexed or extended. Okay. And third is to determine if the presenting part has engaged or not. So these are the three things that you look for in the fourth maneuver, Leopold's maneuver or the first pelvic grip. So you should know the order in which it is done and also the different names given to the examination method. All right. Second pelvic grip, we just saw that the other names are Paulick's grip or the third Leopold's maneuver. So this first picture A is the fundal grip. B will be the lateral or umbilical grip. C will be the Paulick grip or second pelvic grip. And D will be the fourth Leopold maneuver or the first pelvic grip. All right. So the answer here, second pelvic grip, will be this option C. Okay. So I hope this was useful. So these are some of the high yield questions and topics which I thought would be very important from the topic of obstetric examination, since this is very practically oriented. Hope that was useful, everybody. Thank you so much.
Best training, peaceful environment, PG medical entrance exam preparation were my expectations. I got them at Speed Medical Village in Kanchipuram. Today, I am a PG topper.
Speed Medical Village, a unique eco-friendly campus dedicated for PG preparation. Speed Medical Institute, a complete solution for medical education.